That green demon money spins the world around like turntables at a concert, and for Kygo, it isn't really any different. Rich people have it all, and they spend crazy amounts of money on ridiculous sorts of things. From mansions, to fancy cars, to expensive pieces of jewelry, clothes, and yeah, that list can go on, you already know. It's nothing strange because when you got that kind of money, it's pretty easy to get a little excited when it comes to your purchases. You definitely want to live out your wildest dreams. Many celebrities have more than they could ever use or need in their life. Celebrities who have millions of dollars can afford to spend on what may look wasteful and unnecessary, but big spending is kind of just a part of celebrity culture, so it's not really their fault. They're obligated to because every other celebrity has expensive stuff. And on that cheerful note, here's how Kygo spends his $25 million net worth. Yeah, we really know it's not our business on how somebody spends his or her money, plus it isn't entirely bad when the person is into entertainment and we admire his or her great achievements. So, who is Kygo, and how does he really spend his millions? When it comes to spending money, some of you are a little picky and are only thrilled by the billionaires like Musk, Bezos, Roman Abramovich, Warren Buffett, or the rich Middle Eastern monarchs. But hold on, guys, hold. Spending lavishly isn't only for billionaires. I mean, obviously, millionaires can spend a good amount of money too, especially entertainers like Kygo. Kyrre Gorvel Dahl, who's better known by his stage name Kygo, is a Norwegian DJ, songwriter, and record producer born on the 11th of September in 1991 in Singapore. Although he was born in Singapore, he spent most of his early days in Norway, and the country from which both of his parents originally hailed. As a small seedling, Kygo, who is from Bergen, Norway, was fascinated and in love with the world of music, as he's been surrounded by music from an early age. His father was a pianist, and he too began taking piano lessons when he was only 6 years old. That's 6 for those of you who don't speak Espanol. Anyways, yeah, his mom encouraged him to take piano lessons when he was 6. The more he learned, the more his passion for music grew. He said eventually he was playing piano for hours every day after school. So how did Kygo get to the limelight, one may ask? Well, he rose to fame in December 2013, all thanks to SoundCloud, and when he remixed Ed Sheeran's Icy Fire track. He gained more international attention with the single titled Firestone featuring Conrad Sewell, which was released in December 2014. Kygo has a lot of awards and recognition with dance beats and remixes hitting billions of streams in a short while. In fact, 2015, Kygo was the fastest artist to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify, and although the dude is still a bit of a baby, i.e. very young, he is one of the names to reckon with when it comes to the DJ world. How does this DJ, songwriter, record producer, who's estimated to be worth around $25 million, spend his millions? A house is more of a necessity than a luxury with someone as rich as Kygo. It means that he can pretty much do as he pleases. I mean, it's just no surprise. And it's also no surprise at the end of the summer in 2018, Kygo spent about $5 million on a luxury 8-bedroom dream home for himself. This beautiful mansion was built in 1918 and it covers 1,000 square meters of land. That's the type of house that you can host like a mini concert in. This beauty has everything the millionaire could ever want, like a bathhouse, several docks, a library, and even its own stable and tennis court. The house by the sea lies in the same line with the famous Norwegian composer and pianist Edvard Grieg and the royal residence. Kygo officially stated, "Having room for our guests and inspiring environments is perfect for making music." This isn't surprising as Kygo's villa is specifically close to where Kygo grew up, and he's sure to have some of his childhood friends visiting often. In March 2021, Kygo performed on the top of a snowy mountain in the Sunnmøre Alps in Norway. What's more interesting than this for happened, somehow, the pop hitmaker had to spend more than $100,000 of his own money to fly his glass piano up on top of the mountain, according to his manager Miles Shear anyways. When asked by Rolling Stone why he chose to spend that whopping sum of money to fly a piano on a helicopter up to the top of a mountain, the Norwegian DJ and the producer replied saying, "To me, the Sunnmøre Alps is the perfect setting that displays the beauty of Norway. Growing up, I've spent a lot of time skiing and hiking in those mountains across Norway, and I just wanted to show everyone who hasn't been to Norway a bit of what it's really like." So we guess that when you have enough money, there's little or no limitations to satisfying your cravings, even if it involves spending the cost of a Dodge Viper GT to fly your piano to the event. Streamed online. So our little subject of this video is not only known for making cool melodies, but also being a philanthropist who enjoys donating. It's kind of a staple of the rich and wealthy, but this guy is actually a source of inspiration to many in his native country, Norway. The Scandinavian and his influence also spreads across other parts of the world. Kygo donations have had tremendous impacts, changing lives, empowering people to reach their full potential while inspiring the people around him to make a difference. At the Utopia event in New York City, this amazing superstar raised over $110,000 in donations for the LGBTQ community and supported several charities and organizations through the event. This positivity is what surrounds Kygo, as he says he likes to treat his friends and his family. He enjoys spending those beautiful moments with his friends and his family, as he honestly prefers 8 of his friends from Norway to attend X Games in Aspen rather than spending it over some grill or flashy cars. Kygo comes from a large family. He has an older stepbrother, 2 older sisters, and a younger half-brother. He was born in Singapore, like I've said already, Cuisinha, and he traveled to Brazil, Egypt, Japan, and Kenya with his family. These experiences exposed him to a wide variety of sounds, accents, cultures, which have influenced his career and his style. After high school, he served in the Norwegian military as a fireman for a year. During his downtime, one of his friends introduced him to all the necessary tools a DJ needs, and from that moment forward, he was obsessed. He wanted to play soccer, but he said that Avicii's Seek Bromance track convinced him to change his path, which I'm sure retrospectively he's really grateful for. See, at this point, he dropped piano lessons because he wanted to play the pop stuff, as he said. Kygo is the definition of a bedroom producer. He learned to create electronic music by watching hundreds of tutorials on YouTube in his dorm, armed with a Logic Studio, a MIDI keyboard, and a MacBook. He was studying economics at Edinburgh's Heriot-Watt University in Scotland when he decided to drop out and create music full-time. When he realized his music didn't fit the mold of any of the current genres, he decided to make his own. After experimenting with various sounds, the 22-year-old posted results to SoundCloud and Facebook. When listeners went wild for the tracks, he continued developing that style, and at some point people began calling the style tropical house, and it spread like wildfire across the globe. Using the new sound, Kygo started dropping remixes. Passengers Let Her Go, Rihanna's Stay, on a Facebook page. A month in, the page had 1,000 likes. A promoter in Paris tried to book him for a show, and Kygo agreed to, but he asked for a 6-month extension. He needed to teach himself how to DJ. By the time of the gig, for 200 people, he was up to 80,000 Facebook likes. "I'd never even posted a photo of my face," he says. "Nobody even knew who I was. I was like, I do not understand what's going on." His career doesn't only end as a DJ, he also worked on a TV series to produce their soundtrack. The very first soundtrack he did was used in a TV series by the name of Teen Wolf. Kygo's creation was taken in the TV series for only 1 episode though, so then from 2015 to 2021, Kygo produced soundtracks for 20 TV series. Among them was The Voice, which he worked on for 4 years in a row. Kygo, who is the first house music artist to have performed in the closing ceremony of the Olympics, which he achieved at the Rio Olympics, launched his clothing and lifestyle brand with the names Kygo Vibe and Kygo Life. The clothing line with a distinct Scandinavian vibe includes Kygo Life, the main apparel and electronics line, and Kygo Vibe, which is a sporty meets urban collection. So unlike Kanye West's Yeezy brand that can only be rocked by a certain set of people, both of Kygo's clothing lines are designed to meet the needs of an everyday person on the street. You're not going to be looking like an astronaut in them. And when asked about his inspiration for this fashion line, Kygo told the Billboard, "I don't want to wear anything that I was selling if it had big logos. I didn't think it was cool for me to walk around with a huge Kygo logo on myself." So in his quest to have a cooler clothing option that he'd be happy to wear, he teamed up with a design crew in his country, Norway, and this gave birth to his super fine clothes and made of high quality materials and fabrics. Overall, Kygo has been described as an otherwise downright boring guy. Although he won't reject a glass or two, he's definitely not one to be overblown by money or fame. He's not partaking in these usual indulgences of young men with newfound fame and money. I mean, he does treat himself nicely, who wouldn't? I think he might be some kind of tropical houseplant, to be honest. That's about it, so thanks for watching how Kygo spends his millions.